Jalen Hurts icing the game on the ground with his legs, with a beautiful move, by the way, to convert the third down to wrap this game up. This game was crazy. This game was actually probably crazier than originally meets the eye, obviously, with the whole delay and all of that. But first game of the season, week one, a lot to like, plenty to criticize, I'll say. But all in all, for a week one game, I thought it went really, really well. The offense, I felt, was incredibly balanced. I thought Kevin Poulo called a great game, especially in the first half. The second half, maybe not as much, but again, that's to be expected. Considering, again, this is the first game, none of these guys really played in the preseason. The penalties, obviously, penalties were not good. They had 9 penalties for 110 yards, but they dominated the time of possession. 35 minutes to 25, I think it was what it ended up wrapping up to be. But they were 8 for 13 on third down, 3 for 3 in the red zone. I mean, Jalen Hurts looked so comfortable, so composed, so confident. I mean, he was really a one-man show today. He really was. I mean, it's funny because they'll be like, oh, well, he didn't throw for 200 yards. And, you know, he was 19 for 23, 152 yards, 14 carries for 62 yards. So obviously over 200 yards total, 2 touchdowns, and they were not push touchdowns. I mean, he picked up some huge plays, huge conversions, huge third downs with his legs and with his arm. That beautiful ball to Dodson. I mean, yeah, man, I think Jalen Hurts has leveled up even more so, dealt with the pressure pretty well, took care of the ball. He was just comfortable and confident throughout the entire game. He really, really was. Obviously, the whole nonsense with Dak Prescott and Jalen Carter. I mean, listen, I'll talk about that more because I'm sure that'll be separate segments all on Friday. I just want to get this video out. Listen, I think what Jalen Carter did was dumb, but Dak Prescott also, when you watch the video, clearly spit. I mean, they showed it on the broadcast. I actually think less of Dak Prescott for that. Dak Prescott is supposed to be the adult. He's the quarterback. He's a grown man. He's older. He's more mature. He's been around. I expect Jalen Carter to be more rough around the edges. I expect way more from Dak Prescott. And again, I don't think what Jalen Carter did was right either, to be very clear. Like, if I didn't know that Dak spit on him, I was prepared to just, you know, definitely rip Jalen Carter, and I still will, and would whatever terms we want to use. But with Dak, yeah, man, I just think less of that. I think that's low class. And don't try to come with the nonsense of like, well, he was just spinning in the direction. Like, don't just stop. Don't even bring that energy here because it's a bunch of nonsense. And then the Smith PA penalty, you know, like there was just some bad penalties in the beginning of the game that you just want to see them obviously clean up. 9 penalties for 110 yards is a lot. That is a lot. That's like Baltimore Ravens last year, leading the NFL in both total penalties and penalty yards. You just can't have that. You just can't have that. But the way how this game unfolded, everybody was scoring on everybody, which puts a lot of pressure on the Eagles offense. Make no mistake about it. That's a lot of pressure on Jalen Hurts to get this offense going when there's a sense of this, when the Eagles defense was not able to stop them as well. And Saquon Barkley, I mean, listen, he was 18 carries for 60 yards. He had 3.3 yards per carry. I mean, he could not get going. He was averaging, I think it was like what, 5.88 or something around that last season. He was 3.3. He really could not get going. And the yards that he got were more off of his beautiful moves, as we saw, right? Like him just being Saquon. So like that run game was not, you know, was really unable to get going. So there was a lot on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts throughout that game, you know, offensively. And I think he did really, really well. He made great decisions. He didn't try to force the ball to Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. And, I mean, they were talking about it. Collinsworth was like, oh, you know, A.J. Brown, Devontae, they need to get the ball. And then as soon as he said that, Jalen Hurts throws a 51-yard pass to Dodson. I mean, they scored, until near the end of the game. They were scoring every single drive. They hung 21 points in the first half. Like they were putting up points. They were doing what they needed to do. I know it wasn't by the names that everybody wants it to be, but they were still getting the job done. And listen, you don't want it to always be that way, but sometimes that's just the way it is. And I think it's a good problem to have, that you're putting up points, that they were pretty much on pace to score over 24. And again, the whole thing with the lightning and all that, like that really kind of disrupted the flow of the game. But I mean, they were on pace, because like, what did they end up finishing? What was the score? I think it was 24-21 was the official final score rate, or 24-20, excuse me. And they obviously had the ball at this final possession. So it's not hard to imagine that they would have put up 27 or more points if they needed to score again here. And you do that, you're going to win a lot of games, man. When you're on pace to score around 28 points a game or more, you're going to win a lot of games. If this was a game where it was like 17-10 and the Eagles won, and Jalen Hurts only threw for 150 yards, and they couldn't get things going, then I could understand. And like I said, we'll talk about this more. I just wanted to get a video out. Obviously it's a little extra late here. Like, I have all my notes, but I'm not going to go through all that right now, so I don't have to just kind of keep repeating myself tomorrow. But I'm also kind of getting like resituated with the note taking aching right now. I'm kind of like, wait, which notes do I take? Like, what do I look for right now? I'm just like, I'm a little rusty too, even with my note taking aching. But all in all, I think for a week one game, I think it's all you could really ask for. It's a week one game against a division rival who, you're going to be able to bring it, right? You know that. And the Dallas Cowboys looked really good. They looked great. Dak Prescott looked really good. And the CD Pickens, I mean, like the Eagles were bailed out a little bit with some drops from CD Lamb, but then also some tough penalties, like the one with Blankenship. Like it's probably a penalty by the law, but it's just bad luck the way how it kind of happened. Like, there was really nowhere for Blankenship to go. So it's just like it's one of those tough ones, and that directly led to points. So it's just like, sometimes those things kind of balance it out a little bit. That taunting penalty, I think for week one is a little rough too. Like, maybe just say something to him for a second, but I didn't like it. I thought that he was going to get a penalty for that taunting play. But then again, that then directly led to points as well. So it's just like both teams kind of bailed each other out at times, which I think it kind of balanced it out a little bit. Some dropped interceptions that clearly should have been caught by the Eagles, or like they bailed the Cowboys out. So it's like, this was when you kind of parse it all together, because I always try to figure out, if this play didn't happen, then what would happen? I do calculate that in my head. And I think all in all in this game, it was kind of balanced in that, where it's like, if you took away this play, took away that play, took away this play, took away that play, some of these more unfortunate events, or just not high quality ball played in that moment, who gets to benefit from that? I think all in all, it was just they both bailed each other out. So I'm not too concerned about that. That's why I don't want to hear the things of like, oh, if CD Lamb catches that ball, the Cowboys win. And it's like, all right, and if so-and-so catches that interception, then they win, right? So we can do that stuff all day, every day. And sometimes putting that stuff out makes sense, but you got to figure out, on both sides who actually ended up bailing the other team out more. And so in this instance, I think it really was 5,050. But I think if you're an Eagles fan, you should feel pretty good about this game. I think I was just so impressed with how comfortable Jalen Hurts looked. I really was. And that's what Collinsworth kept saying it again and again. He's like, he just looks so comfortable. And he did, man. I've never seen Jalen Hurts look that poised and that comfortable and that confident. And it wasn't like based off of nothing. Like, it was rooted in his play. You can see the composure. It was really, really impressive. It was really, really impressive. I want to see Kevin Patullo work better in the second half. Again, I think that first half was, I think the scripted plays were beautiful and balanced, and I really enjoyed the one pitch with a little bit of misdirection, not in the traditional sense, but a little bit of misdirection to Squan. I love that. And I'm like, okay, great, right? Like I'm already seeing some of the fingerprints of a new offensive coordinator, but then I feel as though the Eagles lost that kind of as the game went on, and Jalen Hurts with his legs definitely bailed him out a few times. Then even on that third long for the 51 yards, you're asking your quarterback to like really take a shot downfield. And so I guess like I'd like things to feel a little bit smoother, but it's week one all in all. I I I think both teams honestly should actually probably feel pretty good about, I think the Cowboys should be like, hey, see, we're not this bootleg team right now. And the Eagles should be like, yeah, look at us. We can win games. Look at us. Wow. Who would have thought that our quarterback can lead us the way, and that we could win week one against a division rival on banner night, and not need Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, or Devontae to feast. And that's what's going to be funny about the stories tomorrow or today, I guess. They're going to be like A.J. about A.J. Brown, concerned that A.J. Brown couldn't get going, concerned about Devontae, concerned Saquon, and it's just like Jalen Hurts played great and the Eagles won, and they were still putting up points, and all three of those players were not able to feast. So it's just like how do you want to shape the narrative here? Because before, when those guys play great, you take it away from Jalen Hurts, and now Jalen Hurts with wins with other people, right? You want to take that away. So it's just like it's going to be funny to see what it all comes down to. But all in all, it's a late night. I got to lay down. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, and this Eagles team taking on the Dallas Cowboys? How do you feel now about this season now that it's finally begun? Do you like what you see? Are you concerned? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help visibility in the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.